Good evening, everybody. This is Michael Nelson, enlarged to show texture. How's everyone doing tonight? So, like I say, we're going to be doing our. I got a lot of things planned for this channel, but we're going to start out with uh, the exposure of the cult Scientology. I'm obviously going to help out in this process uh, to where we'll slowly help and destroy this cult that they call a religion that they call Scientology. And so we're going to be starting off with this book, A Billion Years, from Mike Rinder. The next book I'll be going into, it's called Child X. And that's written from Jamie Mustard, if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to start out with this, though. A Billion Years, Mike Rinder. We'll start out with this book. And we're going to do half-hour segments. So I'm going to read a half hour. This is exposure of Scientology, folks, these books. Right? So I'm going to do half-hour segments when I read these books. So instead of doing chapters, I'll be doing half-hour segments. So my videos are going to be a half hour long, reading a half an hour, and then after what we read, I'll take about 5 or 10 minutes to discuss with you what I think about it and stuff. A long time ago, I was walking in school one day, and one of my classmates that I did not graduate with, he was the one that shunned me. I'm not going to say the name or anything like this, but ever since I got shunned that day in Langdon High School, even though I was in middle school at the time, because the middle school was joined with the high school, ever since I got shunned, I noticed that the communication was a lot different in that school afterwards. And then when I turned the age 15, it just got worse after that, and I'll go into detail why that is. But just the communication. So Scientologists have a unique way on how they communicate, and I noticed that these Scientologists have been following me around now for over 30 plus years, doing sec checks. It's where they group themselves up and they interrogate and investigate people that are in trouble with Scientology or something along those lines. But the way they communicate is they won't talk to the person, right? But they'll talk within a group around that person to try to make them feel guilty about their life's choices, if you will. And so ever since I got shunned in middle school by one of my classmates that I did not graduate with, was somebody else. I'm not going to say their name or anything like this. I will be saying, David Miscavige, and I will be saying Tom Cruise, because those two folks right there I've been dealing with quite heavily for the last 7, 8, 9 years now. So I would like to say that I would like to say nice things about Scientology, but I can't. Nothing but bad news. They belittle you. They sec check you / interrogate you right in front of you, but they do it indirectly to where if you try to prove it, they make it look like you're the one that's crazy, right? Because there's more than one person. Me, it's just me, so I have no other witnesses that would want to back me up on this, at that time. But what ex-Scientologists came out with their videos and books, this is when I decided to come out with my own videos as a Christian, a man of God. I believe in Jesus. strong faith in Jesus. And I've always been a Lutheran. I've always believed in Jesus. So I don't know why Scientology decided to target me this way and stick their nose where it doesn't belong. I still have not received any truth from Scientology. I haven't received any truth from David Miscavige. I haven't received any truth from Tom Cruise. These two people know how I operate, and it's very unfortunate because we do not get along at all. So let's just leave it at that. They should not be a part of what's going on. That's what I'm trying to say. They should have no business as to what is going on. That's what I'm trying to tell you, folks. But they stuck their nose where it doesn't belong, and I'm left here dealing with these two lunatics. I mean, they're just behind the scenes. They're complete wild animals, you know. When a camera's not pointed at them, Tom Cruise and David Miscavige act like a bunch of little wild animals running around all over the place. And I still have not been approached by Tom or Dave as to what is going on here, and they have not told me the truth. They keep trying to cover all this up. So this happened a long time ago. This happened when I was in middle school, so it's very important that you understand this, ladies and gentlemen. It's very important that you understand and listen to this very carefully. I was shunned back in middle school before I made any important life choices. If I had, come to find out, if I had a choice at all, which in reality I didn't. But there's more to that story. Hopefully we'll figure that out in the next 5 or 10 years. But when it comes to Scientology, these folks came out of nowhere, you know. And I was wondering why people talk to me the way they do. And come to find out, they are sect checking me. So they get in their little groups and they talk about you, but they talk about you indirectly. So they don't talk to your face, right? But they're off in a distance somewhere where you can hear them and they're talking about you. And it's not good things. It's only things that you know that you have done in your life. And Scientology, for whatever reason, knows my life's choices, knows my life. And I figured out how they know. But I'm waiting for Scientology to be truthful with me and tell me why they know and tell me how they know. So I'm waiting on that. I'm a 46-year-old man. I was shunned when I was, 14, 15 years old? So, yeah, Scientology is not good, folks. Avoid it at all costs. What's the benefit? Again, what is the benefit with Scientology other than, spending millions of dollars to hopefully float in the air and use telekinesis? Well, we all know that telekinesis does work, but you have to have technology inside of a human being for it to work. And so Scientology is imagining things. I'm walking proof that I know they're imagining things. So, that being said, I wanted to keep this video less than 10 minutes, so I just wanted to let you know this. I want to let you folks know my side of the story. For years, I've been listening to Dave and Tom run their mouths while they travel the world. But what they won't tell you is the real truth behind it all. So I am here, after waiting for all these books to come out and these movies to come out, I am here to further verify these ex-Scientologists' true eyewitness stories and movies. I am there to back them up and verify it with them. I never was a Scientologist, folks. Scientology has fair gamed me and are currently fair gaming and sec checking me. And we'll go through that process as we continue. But I wanted to keep this video a little bit short, so we're gonna cut it short here. But I'm letting you know where I stand, right? I'm a Christian that believes in Jesus and no other. I do not believe in David Miscavige. I do not believe in Tom Cruise, okay? Now, they run Scientology. And for whatever reason, they got a problem with me. But they have yet to be man enough to tell me why. So we're just going to cut it there. The first book that we're getting into is called A Billion Years by Mike Rinder. And like I say, we're going to do half-hour segments. So I'm going to read a half hour, maybe about 20 minutes, and then I'll do a 10-minute recap of what we just read. And you folks can be your own judge if you think I'm lying. If you think I'm lying, you can be your own judge. Right? That's what I'm trying to say, folks, right? Tom Cruise and David Miscavige, for a long time now, have bragged about silencing me. And that's not true. I have waited for books like this to come out, for true documentary movies to come out against Scientology before I voice my opinion, before I give you my eyewitness accounts. You see where I'm coming from, folks? So I didn't want to do this right away because you guys would think I'm crazy. But now that we waited for all of these books to come out and these movies to come out and all of these ex-Scientologists coming out talking about David Miscavige and Tom Cruise and various other celebrities in Scientology and Scientology in general, I waited, and now I am here to present my eyewitness experience of dealing with and currently dealing with these irritating folks in Scientology, to say the least. Behind the scenes, folks, they're not good people. Behind the scenes, and I should know. We'll get into more on that later. But on that note, I just wanted to let you guys know that no, they will never silence me, no matter how much they brag about it. And I'm going to share with you my eyewitness experience, what I have seen with my two eyes, what I have listened to with my own two ears. I will share with you folks what Scientology really is like. And it's not good, folks. Okay? It is not good at all. So, on that note, have a good evening. I'm going to do my first reading tomorrow. So get ready for that. On that note, this is enlarged to show texture. I'm Michael Nelson. And just remember, if you ever think about joining something like this, you better think thrice. See you tomorrow, folks. Take care.